Hey, it's Dan, welcome back. This is iAllegedly, and I've got a good one for you today because I am in Irvine, California at the Orange Great Park. This is a master plan community that is on the old El Toro Marine Base. When they shut down the El Toro Marine Base, they were originally going to turn this place into a international airport, and everybody in South Orange County, all those houses that you've seen me go down to in Dana Point, Laguna Niguel, San Juan Capistrano, they all freaked out because they were in the flight path of this place, and they had legislation and fought it, and now it's parks and just an amazing venue. But before I get into it, please take a second, hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, share this with all your friends and colleagues, and there is a lot of cool stuff out here to show you. There's so much going on with the news, and one thing I want to cover today is pay more, get less. Inflation is something that we just cannot get around, cannot avoid in any way, shape, or form. And I don't care what country you're in right now, inflation is just a huge problem. Ronald Reagan is the one that said inflation is a tax. I thought it was Warren Buffett, but I looked it up today, and Ronald Reagan originally said it. You young kids that are new and don't remember who he is, he was an actor. He made a great movie, Bedtime for Bonzo. It was a masterpiece. It was with a monkey or a chimpanzee. Anyways, great actor. Ronald Reagan wasn't bad either. He was a pretty good actor too. And in fact, I think he ran for office in his later life. Anyways, let's get into it. So much I want to show you guys. This place is absolutely amazing. And there are, I think, 20 soccer fields. There's a dozen baseball fields, and there's volleyball courts. There's a soccer stadium. The semi-pro soccer team is even practicing right now on the field right next to me. But one thing that's very cool is they have a hot air balloon ride that you can go on and enjoy. So that gets a big crowd. I don't know why that's not going up yet this morning, but I'm sure it will be. We are living in basically what will be a renter nation. And one thing that's absolutely crazy, two things, is that housing starts were only up 2% in August, which is really off. But building permits for multi-family units were up 6%. So again, they want to build more apartments, triplexes, sixplexes, all these different units, apartment buildings. But there's something here that's crazy in California, and that is there is Senate Bill 9 that this allows. Think about what I'm going to tell you. You can have a house, your house, and you can divide the house and the property up to where you can have multiple lots under the same house. You can have duplexes in the same house. So basically, you could take your single family house and turn it into a duplex. But think about this. If you can divide the lot, if you've got a big enough lot and you can divide it, then you can have two duplexes that you can own. Okay? Now you can sit there and the real estate people are going, that's amazing, that's cool. Well, think about this. You live in a neighborhood. They didn't deal with traffic. They don't deal with, having, 4 families live in one house now. So that hasn't even been dealt with. But this passed. And Governor Newsom, when he won his recall election, the next day, I believe, he signed this thing. So you're going to see developers and people take houses in areas that have no ability to deal with traffic and deal with the amount of people, and you're going to have 2 duplexes in these neighborhoods. So again, a renter nation. And here's a better shot of that. Oh, you can see this is really cool. I can walk up here. Okay, you can see how that thing is. But pretty cool, I don't think it's expensive. I know a lot of people that have done it. I've never done it. But again, this place is absolutely amazing. In addition to the great park, you've got a master plan community of houses that are incredibly expensive. And the tax rate on all these places are 2%, which is insane. So you've got houses from 800,000 to, I think there's some that are going for $1.7 million. Could you imagine you spend $35,000 a year on property taxes before you make a house payment or an electric payment? Think about that. So that's what this neighborhood has. But as I walk through the soccer side of this place, I mean, it is just massive amounts of soccer fields and open space. Now, this is not our parents' stock market. It's not our grandparents' stock market. This stock market is completely based on fantasy, and it is not real in any way, shape, or form. But there is something that's real that you can get involved with if you want to, that have always been pointed out to me a bunch of times, and I'm going to point it out to you guys. Yesterday had a huge drop in the stock market. Today started out great, and now it's starting to turn negative. But again, back in the day, when you had bad news in the economy, things would drop to the floor. If you had consistent bad news, you would have the market, go south. And again, it doesn't matter right now because we have the plunge protection team that is buying stocks, buying bonds, buying assets through the Fed that is making this unreal. And the Fed has even done insider trading with this. And we talked about this in the past. But one thing that fascinates me is Congress and the politicians. When they buy certain amounts of stock, they have to let the public know. Now, Nancy Pelosi, it is estimated that she's worth $114 million right now. Now, one thing that's absolutely fascinating that you can do, and people, I'm getting TikTok sent to me, I'm getting all this stuff sent to me, where they're making a tremendous amount of money following what her and her husband are buying. So if this interests you, you can search these sites and you can find out the main story of where Nancy Pelosi is worth $114 million, who is a true capitalist buying stock and making all this money. But again, the average person can follow these congressmen and senators and find out and match their buys if that interests you. So they seem to be making money hand over fist. Why shouldn't you, following somebody else's advice like that? Share your thoughts, guys, because I know you will. I'm curious as to what you think about this. It's a college team practicing right now. It's kind of nice to walk by and see this. Inflation is not transitory. In fact, it's unprecedented. There was a great interview with Trane Technologies, who makes air conditioners, the 3M company, GE, and JP Morgan, talking about how inflation is just a huge, huge problem and that we've never seen anything like this in our lifetime. Okay, so the not transitory thing, it's something that people need to get used to and need to plan on, that things are going to be much more expensive. Great article, share it with you guys. But the next thing is home prices. Lumber prices shot up earlier this year, and they made houses go up as high as 12%. Lumber prices came down, but it's still 10% higher than it was a year ago. So that being said, 10%, guys, up from a year ago is outrageous. This is what's made things so expensive. Plus, the problem with building is the construction delays. I've talked to contractors, talked to a cabinet company that just have nothing but problems getting product delivered. And again, you can't put the sink in till the cabinets are in. There's so much that you can't do. You can't set the tile on the backsplash till the cabinets are in. And things like this have just delayed projects for months. Some homeowners understand, some do not. Some want to sue you when this stuff happens. Some are understanding. But needless to say, it just drags things out for months and months and months at a time, which is not good. As things go up, we're seeing it everywhere. And internationally, again, I get a kick. Somebody reached out yesterday from the UK on fuel prices. It is absolutely outrageous what fuel prices are around the world, And if you think that this stuff is going to go down anytime soon, you're crazy. It's absolutely not. But what do you do when at the end of 2 weeks you make X and you do your budget and you plan on rent and you plan on electricity and you plan on this, but everything has gone up? Just don't know what people do right now. I think it's horrible, and we're seeing nothing but problems. And all these experts and all these CFOs and CEOs of these huge companies don't see an end in sight. So again, this is a tax that is not fair. And the one thing Ronald Reagan said was it's a tax, but it seems like the poor has to pay it the most. So it's terrible. Whether you liked Ronald Reagan or not, it was spot on when it came to this thing. Now, the debt ceiling is something that we've heard a lot about lately, and there is the real possibility that the government could shut down and not be open on October 1st. Mitch McConnell has said that they're not going to fund this debt ceiling at all, and that they're going to vote against it. The Rules Committee has not reconvened to get together to work on this. And guys, it is absolutely a problem that you're starting to see because, you know, they're going to pay Social Security, they're going to pay certain things, but as far as the government employees, they could be sitting at home, and this is a stalemate. The Democrats and the Republicans are completely far apart on this, and I'm going to get comments, I'm blaming each side, but we need to get together on all this stuff because it's absolutely a disaster right now that the government is being ran the way it is. The Democrats want their infrastructure bill voted on, and Senator Manchin said that he would just be fine with waiting until 2022 to vote on the budget. So share your thoughts on this, guys, if you are for or against this stuff, and let me know what you think, because again, you know, all the things we've heard about with things like $1 trillion platinum coin, which Joe Biden says he won't allow that to happen, but it will be interesting to see what does happen with this stuff. So share your thoughts on this. It's also, it's a carousel. There's an old Navy plane. Cool thing about this place is that there's a huge soccer field. There is a place out here where they have professional soccer matches from the Orange County Soccer Club. It's a great place to see soccer because you're incredibly close to the field, and the ball gets kicked into the stands all the time, which I don't know why I like that so much, but I do like it. And but there's just so much to do out here and stuff. Here's a great article out of Business Insider, and what this does is it predicts how long it's going to take each state to get its employment levels back to pre-health crisis levels. You've got some states like Idaho and Utah that are already surpassing the pre-health crisis levels, and they're doing much better. But again, some states are going to take just a couple months, 3-4 months. Some will take as long as 20 months to get back. But one thing that we have is California, which state I'm in. California has had over 100,000 hires. They're doing great. Texas is doing good. North Carolina's doing good. But it's pretty fascinating because it's interesting to see how they break this down with the color code, and I'll share it with you. The next thing is student loan debt. Richard Cordray is the COO of the board that handles student loan payments, and he says it's unprecedented, and that we'll have such a problem that in January of 2022, when people start having to pay their student loans back, we don't know how this is going to work out. Well, here's how it should work out. These people should be writing checks during that time. There has been over $100 billion of student loan interest forgiven during this time. $100 billion. Also, there's $1.7 trillion in student loan debt that, again, if you have this debt, do you have a job that pays for that? Now, I know attorneys that make a lot of money, but they still have $140,000 in student loan debt. You know, I have a friend of mine, one of her kids has $140,000 in student loan debt, the other one has 40. I mean, it's crazy, guys, absolutely nuts. And they both have jobs that will not substantially make more than 60 grand a year with their jobs. They'll never get that debt paid off. Never, ever, ever. So Again, have you benefited from not having to make your student loan payments? Do you know of anybody that has? I do, and I'm fascinated by it. But again, just to let this, to have this be like a big worry, it's time to make the payments, guys. It's just that simple. You've had a year and a half of no payments to the tune of $100 billion. Share your thoughts. Did you get a degree in something that you regret? Did you not get your degree and you are financially upside down? Share your thoughts on that too. We would all like to hear that. Still, the greatest line anybody ever wrote to me was, they have a stepson that is an artist, and he can draw anything but a paycheck, and it's got a lot of student loans. So share your thoughts, guys. Again, one thing that I keep getting written about is the fourth stimulus check and universal basic income. It's not going to happen. But what has been proposed by the Chicago mayor, Lori Lightfoot, is she wants to give 5,000 families $500 a month that are basically considered to be poor. So they want to give them basically universal basic income to 5,000 pre-selected families. They're getting $1.7 billion of stimulus money given to them that they want to disperse to poor people. And again, Chicago's got a lot of issues. You know, number one being crime. There's the edge of that soccer field, guys, that I talked about. That's really just absolutely amazing. You can see how close the seats are to the field. It's just really cool. But again, guys, Chicago's got a major crime problem. They've got a lot of things they can use that money on. How do you guys feel about this? California's proposed it. I think Texas is, some areas of Texas are talking about that. But again, it's just for a select few, and it really does anger the people that don't get this money. So share your thoughts on that. I'm really curious as to what you think of it. Now, one thing that we've heard a lot about is office space and how people are moving out, they're not moving in something that has been completely unprecedented. Google has just purchased a Manhattan office building for $2.1 billion. Yes, $2.1 billion. Also, they let me on the field to show you guys, which is pretty cool. See, this, if you're into soccer, this is really cool. I mean, the field and the seats are right on the field. You're right in the action. But again, this is the highest price paid for any real estate since the health crisis started. It's absolutely amazing. But again, Lower East Side of Manhattan. So Google is going to have an office in a big location there. What do you guys think of this? I think right now, if you cannot get a deal on office space right now, you're not breathing, because if you think that these landlords are going to hold out and that there's going to be somebody else to take that spot, you're kidding yourself right now, because it is going to be a bloodbath for these people, and they will take anybody that will fog up a mirror. So please share your thoughts on that. How do you guys feel about that? What do you guys think of this place? It's pretty cool. Yeah, the stuff they let me do, really does fascinate me at times, gotta admit. Check this place out, guys. I mean, it is very cool. Been to a few matches here. Got the upper deck, but just look at how close you are to the field. Very, very cool place to see matches, and the team's pretty good too. So now the Fed has a meeting this week, and one thing that they're talking about is the tapering of low interest rates and starting to stop all the purchasing that they're doing. And again, they've put this off to, if we do it, looks like we'll do it in November. Who believes this stuff, man? This is a cheating girlfriend that you just can't rely on. That's all this is. So again, I don't know what to expect from the Fed, but whatever they're telling us, who believes any of it? Do you believe it? Please share your thoughts on that. Now, a couple last things in this video. DoorDash, the food delivery service, has announced that they are starting to deliver alcohol in 20 states. Woohoo! Have you taken advantage of this? Are you that much of a booze hound that you have to have alcohol delivered to your door? They're also doing it in Canada, Australia, and the District of Columbia. So I find that fascinating that people are doing that. The final thing is there is a woman that worked at Walmart. Her name is Beth, and Beth was in the electronics department for 5 years. And Beth quit with a profanity-laced tirade about management, about the long hours, and her story. She got it filmed. It's been posted in a lot of different places. I'll share it with you guys, but you know, share your thoughts on this. Have you ever quit a job in a big way? Have you ever, you know, been sick of something so bad that when you quit, you had to make a scene? Share your thoughts on that. I quit a job once. I got fired from a job like 30 years ago, I think. Anyways, I was kind of blindsided by the way they let me go. And I always vowed that if I ever got in that position again, that I would quit and tell these people exactly how I felt. And I worked for a company, and the owner of the company was not from the United States. He set up a commission structure for me that if I hit $30,000 in sales, I would get a commission. Well, I hit 31,000. He said, I have great news. In our country, it is great to give more responsibility. So you're getting more responsibility. You're getting LA County, and now it's $40,000. So I said, okay. You know, so I grew the territory in another month and almost hit the 40,000. And then he gave me more responsibility, which is Ventura County. And he said he was going to make it 50,000. I said, no. Make it 80 grand. Make it 80,000. That way you won't have to worry about ever paying me the commission. And he was completely lost. But I knew that day that I was going to be looking for another job. And needless to say, that's exactly what I did. And my kids during this time had a problem. And that was they ate 3 times a day. They had shoes that they would outgrow before they would wear out. And I needed something called money that this cat didn't understand. And with that, I would have to go and get another job that made more money. And it worked out great. And I loved the day that I quit this guy. Okay, so share your thoughts if you've ever had an experience like that. And again, I'm keeping this very tame for this video. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Share this with all your friends and colleagues. And don't forget, we've got an email list that you can join. If you want more access to me, you can get on the Patreon channel, which a lot of people have done. Plus, I think it ends this week. If you want to get a free Webull account, you can get a free Webull account, and they give you a free stock. If you put anything in the account, money-wise, they give you another share of stock. You can pay, trade stocks, cryptos, whatever. And I think that's the last time you're ever going to hear that from me. Plus, we have a new loan program that we can help you get loans on as well. Now, do you need a loan or cash for your business? Ironwood's got a bunch of great programs. This place, if you've been in business as little as 3 months and done $3,000 a month in sales, and you can even have a credit score of as low as 500 on your credit score. Think about that. They could possibly lend you money. They've got a myriad of different loan programs that are available, and the link will be in the video description below, but take a look at it. They've got from bad credit to good credit, but they got a myriad of sources and a myriad of different programs that can get you money quickly for your business in as little as 48 hours, guys. So take a look at that. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you very soon. Share the video with everybody. Don't forget to look at the other videos too. And I will see you guys very soon.